Hello everyone and welcome to a new review on ChinaMobileMag.com. After we did release the review of the Vivo Xplay 3S on our blog 2 days ago, we now are finally ready with the video review of the phone. The Vivo Xplay 3S is a phone which is especially targeting multimedia enthusiasts, but is suitable as well for all lovers of high-end smartphones. The Vivo Xplay 3S is equipped with a 2.3 GHz Snapdragon 800 processor, amazing 3 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal memory, real stereo speakers, a fingerprint reader, two integrated amplifiers for both the internal speakers and the headphone jack, as well as a really nice design. As you can see, these specs are quite promising, so let's see if the phone can fulfill our high expectations. We have received the Vivo Xplay 3S from our partner Liao.com, by the way. As always, let's first have a look at the accessories that come with the phone. The phone is delivered in this white carton box on which the imprint Xplay 3S is visible on the front and Vivo Hi-Fi and Smart on the sides. On the bottom of the box we do find a sticker with some information in Chinese, nothing special so far. Liao has provided us with this very high quality leather case, which is attached with a hard case onto the Vivo Xplay 3S and is especially made for the phone. The case has been manufactured by Lavanda. When opening the box of the Vivo Xplay 3S for the first time, we see the plastic tray in which the phone is located. When removing it, we see an envelope below, in which we do find a coupon card for the Vivo App Store and a tool for opening the SIM slot. When fully opening the envelope, we do find a small card in which a tool for replacing the silicone nubs of the headphones is placed, as well as a Chinese user manual and some more documents in Chinese language. Below the envelope, a hard case is located, which is also made especially for the Vivo Xplay 3S. When opening the compartment on the right, we are looking at the other accessories. Here we do find these very nice looking headphones which feature a great audio quality and are the best in-ear headphones we've got into our hands so far. They almost do not let any noises come through when having them in the ears. Vivo did not save money here. Next to the headphones we find this white power supply made by Vivo. This features a Chinese plug, so you have to use an adapter if you are outside of China. Of course you can also use any other USB charger. We do also find this white micro USB cable with Vivo branding, which is long enough for convenient use. Below the cable there is a small bag in which we find replacement knobs for the headphones. That's all about the accessories already. As you can see, Vivo and Liao did both not save money here and deliver quite some stuff. Now let's continue with the phone itself. The Vivo Xplay 3S is a real beauty and was able to impress us with its design from the very first second. We do especially love that it is quite slim even though it has a 6-inch screen because of the thin screen bezels. If we compare it with the Oppo N1, it is a lot smaller even though it has a bigger screen. Thus you can put it in your pocket easily. In the completely white front of the Vivo Xplay 3S, we do first find a Vivo logo on the upper left corner, then a phone call speaker, next to it sensors for light and distance, a status LED and a front camera. Below the screen we do find the usual soft buttons for menu, home and back. These are back illuminated but also visible without being lit up. This is benefit over the Oppo Find 7, which we did test recently, where the soft buttons are almost not visible. When looking at the device from the left, we first notice the nice metal frame which is going around the whole phone and is rounded on the edges. Here we do find a micro SIM slot which can be opened with the tool that comes with the phone or with some needle. On the lower side we do find a micro USB port as well as a voice microphone. On the right side we find an on-off switch as well as the buttons for volume up and down. On the upper side we find the headphone jack of the phone. When turning the phone around we first see the two very big speakers which are located on the upper and lower half of the rear. Thus the phone generates real stereo sound in landscape mode and is even able to play virtual surround sound. Thus, the Vivo Xplay 3S is sounding better than the recently tested Oppo Find 7, at least when both speakers are turned on. In mono mode, the Oppo Find 7 sounds better. Next to the speaker, the rear also contains the rear camera of the Vivo Xplay 3S, one LED flash with a single LED, and a fingerprint reader, which is a button at the same time that is turning on the phone as well. Below we find a Vivo logo made from metal, which is embedded into the matte polycarbonate rear cover, as well as a Chinese imprint on the lower half right above the lower speaker. All in all, we are really impressed by the design of the Vivo Xplay 3S. It is looking very nice and is feeling extremely good in the hands. It is the phone with the highest build quality of all phones we did test so far. The screen of the Vivo Xplay 3S is a 6-inch 2K screen with a resolution of impressive 2560 by 1440 pixels and a high pixel density of 490 ppi. Thus, the Vivo Xplay 3S is the first available 2K phone and will probably only get a competitor with the release of the 2K version of the Oppo Find 7. The screen has an extremely good and close to reality color reproduction and is like candy for the eyes. The brightness is compared with other phones a bit lower because of the high pixel density, but still perfectly readable when being outside. Pixels are of course not visible anymore at such a high pixel density, and even the camera has issues recognizing single pixels. The viewing angles of the screen are just perfect, as we did expect. We are not able to see the slightest change of the content when viewing it from the sides, except maybe a slight loss of brightness. The touchscreen is very sensitive, and we did not encounter any situation in which it has problems. In our benchmarks, the Vivo Xplay 3S reached good results regardless of the very high screen resolution. In the Antutu benchmark it reached 35,001 points, which results in a position shortly before the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 in the ranking table. In the 3DMark Unlimited benchmark the phone reached 17,222 points. In both of the other benchmarks it was showing maxed out as we are used to from a Snapdragon 800 processor. In GFX Bench we were able to notice the higher screen resolution the most, as the Vivo Xplay 3S only reached 1,792 points here. In the test of the Relamo benchmark, the phone reached 3,020 points and 1,183 points. The Vivo Xplay 3S is based on the Android-based operating system FunTouchOS, which we want to show you at this point. First, we have a look at the different ways to turn the phone on. Here we have 3 different ways to choose from. The first one is the usual on-off switch. The second way is to tap on the screen 2 times. The third way is to press on the fingerprint reader 1 time. When we swipe our finger on it now, the phone will unlock, regardless if we have set up a fingerprint protection or not. This does not work in your pocket, so do not worry about turning it on by accident. As we are already talking about the fingerprint reader, let's continue with it right away. We will show you how you can set up your own fingerprint and secure the phone with it. To do so, we are opening the settings, tap on more settings, then on security and then on guard mode. Here we tap on guard mode code and confirm the pop-up message with OK. Now we have to decide for a method used for the second security layer. Here in the demo we use the PIN code. Now we enter the password and confirm it a second time. Now we have to define a security question. Next we have to set up another PIN code called guard code. After we have done this, we finally can set up our own fingerprint. To do so, we go back and click on fingerprint identification, enter our PIN code and then click on add new fingerprint. Now we have to swipe the finger we want to use for unlocking the phone across the sensor until a fingerprint on the screen turns from black to blue. When we lock the phone now, we can unlock it with our fingerprint now. From now on, no one is able to use the phone except you, at least as long as the person does not know your PIN code. As we are on the home screen right now, we continue with it right away. Here Vivo has built a really nice piece of software. As you can see here, the layout of the user interface is quite similar to the one of the iPhone or the MyUI ROM. Here we find a bar with fixed icons that are always visible below, as well as the different home screens in which the apps and widgets are placed and can be moved around freely. The widgets are very well made and even very interactive, as you can see here with the music player widget. When we press the menu button on the home screen, the launcher settings are popping up. Here we can install themes, switch the wallpaper and even change the effect for switching the home screens. Also we can scroll through the available widgets. The hide category can be used to hide apps from the home screens. When activated, you simply click on the icon of some app and it will disappear. A nice feature for childs is the scene mode. We already know this feature from the Star HD 5000. Once this is activated, you will see a nice scene in which predefined app icons are located. You can even create these scenes for yourself. On the classic desktop you can also create folders, by the way. To do so, you simply drag one icon above another. If you want to get rid of a folder, you simply have to drag all apps out of it. A really ingenious feature is the timeline, which you can activate by simply swiping 2 fingers up on the home screen from the bottom to the top. Here the phone is archiving everything that happened in the past. So if you did, for example, delete some notification from the notification list by accident and do not know what it was, you can simply dig it up in the timeline. Here you can of course delete entries by simply swiping them away to the side. The timeline is not only working in the past, but also in the future. If you are scrolling up, you will, for example, be able to see the calendar events in the future. Here you can see, for example, the Doomsday, which has been scheduled by us for April 3rd from 5 to 6 p.m. The timeline can also be used as the main launcher. When pressing the round button with the dots or dragging the timeline to the left, an app drawer will appear. In the opposite direction, you can close it again and get back into the timeline. The timeline can be closed by dragging 2 fingers from the top to the bottom, which will bring you back to the normal launcher. The notification bar is exactly what the name suggests in FunTouchOS. Here we do find nothing except the notification list, a shortcut to the settings and a button to block certain apps from creating notifications. Whoever is looking for the quick settings has to press the home button for a longer period of time. Now a dialog will opening up on the lower half of the screen, which contains a brightness setting, a list of opened apps, as well as a list of the quick settings. Here we do also find a button to close all running processes at once. Next, let's have a look at some of the system apps of FunTouchOS. Here we see the so-called iManager app. This app can be used to clean the system from data waste, investigate the data usage, manage apps and their rights, change the power saving options, scan for viruses, change privacy settings, and activate a phone finder in case your phone gets lost. This integrated tool really is a great idea, as it does not only save you some apps that you would have to install by yourself, but also is optimized for the system of the Vivo Xplay 3S. The file explorer of FunTouch OS is nothing special. This one equals mostly the one we do also find in the MIUI ROM. Here we find a simple mode with files ordered in categories, as well as a mode which is displaying folders. The Gallery app of FunTouch OS is very well designed. Pictures are displayed in chronological order here and can be opened with one tap. You can also create story albums using different templates that are available. These can be used to create slideshows of specific images. When opening some image, you can also edit it using the built-in extensive image editor. The music player has also been well made by Vivo. When launching it, you will first see categories like songs, artists, albums, and so on, which you can choose between. Also, there is a streaming service available, which you can even use outside of China. So everyone sharing their Chinese taste of music will be happy with it. When playing a song, you also have plenty of settings available. You can, for example, enable lyrics and change settings for the equalizer and sound optimization for the Vivo headphones. The equalizer offers several presets, but you can also adjust it by yourself. The calendar app is basically the same as on any other Android phone and has only received an optimized design by Vivo so that it fits into the system UI. Now let's have a look at some of the available system settings. As you can see here, Vivo did not use tabs for the settings, which is a bit sad as it makes the whole thing a bit complicated to use. First, let's look at the audio settings. Here we see the options SRS Max V. This is kind of a volume booster for the internal speakers, which is especially convenient for ringtones, as the volume is quite impressive when enabled. Also, you can choose for which apps you want to enable the integrated amplifier here under Hi-Fi. Also, we can choose if the phone should only use one or both of the integrated speakers to save energy, as they also have their own amplifier. Back in the main menu, we do find the option Smart Voice Control. This feature is similar to Apple's Siri or Samsung's S-Voice. However, it is not useful for us as it does only understand Chinese right now. Inside the Smart Motion options, we do find a feature that is very useful. Here we can set up gestures that can be used on the screen while the phone is turned off. When activating it, you can, for example, open up the phone app by drawing a C on the screen. If you draw an E, it will open up the browser. Drawing a M is starting music playback. This is working very well. The settings located under the multitasking window category are for the floating square that some of you have probably noticed already. When you get used to it, it will not annoy you anymore and really is a great feature. With this square, you can, for example, open up the video player as a small floating window. This enables you to watch a video while doing other tasks like surfing the internet. You can also do other things with it, like reading messages or doing some notes. The most useful feature, however, inside this small square is called mini screen. A lot of people have the problem that they cannot control large screens with one hand. This probably does basically not exist with the Vivo Xplay 3S. The device is displaying a smaller version of the screen in the right or left lower corner when enabling this feature together with the soft buttons. This enables you to control the device with only one hand. This is working amazingly well in real-life use and is really an ingenious solution by Vivo. Lastly, we have to say that FunTouch OS really is a masterpiece of software made by Vivo, and we do not know of any comparable custom ROM right now which has so many amazing features and is optimized so well. Also, it does not lack updates. During the time frame we did test the phone, we got 4 updates by Vivo, almost 1 update per day. If Vivo is continuing on this path, we will hear a lot of Vivo for sure, not only in China but internationally as well. The audio quality of the Vivo Xplay 3S during phone calls is clear and very good. Also, reception of 3G and LTE networks works very well even outside of China. A 3G connection is established in no time. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are working great as well. Though the Wi-Fi signal could be a bit stronger, we never encountered any signal losses, so this is complaining at very high level. The GPS reception is good as well, even though it does not reach the level of the previously tested Oppo Find 7. Outside, we had a fix for 18 satellites and an accuracy of 9 meters within a few seconds. Inside the house, in front of a window, it did receive 18 satellites and an accuracy of 9 meters has been reached. In the middle of the house, it did find 7 satellites at 49 meters of accuracy. Thus, GPS reception is very good, but not perfect. As we can expect from a phone that is totally dedicated and optimized to multimedia, the Vivo Xplay 3S is performing very well in this category. Playing Ultra HD videos does not leave anything to be desired. The videos are looking insanely good on the screen and are played smoothly by the hardware. Also, full HD contents are fun and we did not encounter any loss of quality regardless of the high screen resolution. During audio playback, the Vivo Xplay 3S did also satisfy us in every aspect. Though the quality of the internal speakers is not as good as the one of the Oppo Find 7 in mono mode, they do sound very impressive and much better than the Oppo Find 7 when using both speakers. Especially because of the integrated amplifier, they are playing music crystal clear and very balanced and with hell a lot of bass. Even virtual surround sound and DTS are supported by them, so there's no need to always wear headphones. The audio output through the headphone jack is also not leaving anything to be desired. It is crystal clear and on maximum volume with turned on amplifier insanely powerful. The output can be individually adjusted to your own needs, especially when being attached to some high-end surround audio system. The Vivo Xplay 3S is showing what it can do. The camera of the Vivo Xplay 3S is taking pictures with 13.1 megapixels and an aperture of f1.8. Thus pictures in low light conditions have a very good quality and a good color reproduction. Also under daylight the camera is creating good results, but the pictures could be a bit better in terms of field of depth and color reproduction. This is again complaining at a very high level, but we would wish to see a camera that does not have a single flaw in this price class. The brightness of the internal LED flash is good and enough for larger rooms. During video recordings, the camera is lacking a lot of depth of field when doing landscape recordings. Close-up recordings, however, do look very nice and sharp. What we did notice is that the audio of the videos is not very loud. The reason for this is probably the missing camera microphone. The front camera does create very good pictures as well with almost no noise under bad lighting conditions. So everyone who loves taking pictures of himself will not need a mirror anymore. Inside the Vivo Xplay 3S there is a non-replaceable battery with a capacity of 3200 mAh. This should enable most of you to get over the day with it. Many will probably even reach 2 days. The maximum you can get out of the battery with regular use while doing a lot of power saving should be around 3 days. Charging the battery takes around 1.5 a half to 2 hours depending on the used power supply. Our opinion about the Vivo Xplay 3S. With the Xplay 3S, Vivo has created an ingenious multimedia machine which will satisfy everyone who is demanding in terms of audio quality and screen quality. Also, the design of the phone isn't leaving anything to be desired thanks to the very high build quality. To everyone who does not like phablets, we want to say that there are almost no barriers when using the device. Thanks to the thin screen bezels, the device is very compact and fits in every pocket regardless of the large 6-inch screen. Also, the one-handed operation is working very well thanks to Vivo's amazing software solution. Also on the software part, the Vivo Xplay 3S has a lot to offer and shows what is possible with Android. In addition to that, Vivo seems to have a great update policy, which is nothing every Chinese company would offer. The only flaws which are disturbing the overall pictures of the phone because of the high price level are the not perfect GPS reception quality and the little flaws of the camera. But all in all, we can give you a 100% purchase recommendation for the Vivo Xplay 3S, as it is probably the phone that gives you the most for your money at this time. You can purchase the Vivo Xplay 3S through our partner Liao.com, where it is priced at $669 at this time. If you tell the support that you have been referred by ChinaMobileMag, you will receive a discount of $5. That's all for now. We hope that you did like this video. If yes, we would like to see a comment, thumbs up and maybe even a subscription to our channel. Thanks for watching, bye and see you soon.